not that I don't want you here. It's something about the way you stare.
What's up, babes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya. If this is your very first time here. So today, y'all, as you can see, we are doing a makeup video. We're gonna do like a girl talk, get ready with me. We're gonna be playing in some new products, some stuff that I got from PR. Some of these are new to me, maybe not new to y'all, but they new to me. Because y'all know I will use the exact same products over and over and over and over again until I do a video like this so I can, like, you know, sprinkle some new products in there. But while we are playing with new products, we are going to be talking about why I personally feel like my 30s have been better than my 20s. Each decade is definitely giving different vibes, and I feel like 30s is definitely giving more than 20s was given, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Before we hop into the video, please make sure that you hit subscribe below if you have not yet, so that you are updated when new videos come out. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell as well, so that you are updated when new videos go up. All right, y'all, let's hop into this get ready with me. All right, y'all, so welcome to a makeup video. It has been forever since we have done a makeup video, y'all. Like, it's literally been, I can't even imagine how long it's been. So not much has changed. We are gonna go ahead and start with the eyes while we get into the girl check. So obviously I just primed my eyes, and we are gonna start with the eyes. We are gonna play in the Black Magic Freedom palette from Uma Beauty, y'all. It is a little mess with. I actually have two of these palettes. This is the second one that they've sent me, and I love it. So y'all, today I wanted to talk about 20s versus 30s. If y'all remember, if y'all been watching me for a while, y'all know that I did a video a while back about things that I learned in my 20s now that I'm in my 30s. But today, y'all, I wanted to talk about why I feel like my 30s are better than my 20s. I feel, because there's so many women that watch my channel, like from women in their early, like late teens to early 20s to women in their 60s and 70s, y'all. So I'll be trying to get topics that we all are interested in, that we could talk about, have experience in, or is coming up, so we are interested in it, you know. But for me personally, as a woman, y'all, I obviously have learned a lot since my 20s. And you would think growing up, you like, you know, when you're 13 and 14, you're like, oh, I want to be in my 20s. I want to be 21, 25, 27 even. Because then once you hit 30, it's like, oh, that's getting a little too up there. You know what I'm saying? Which it's not. But I feel like I have a very strong feeling that my 30s are so much surpassing my 20s for so many different reasons. So the first reason why I feel like my 30s are way better than my 20s has everything to do with self-identity. In my 20s, I did not know who I was. I was impressionable. I cared way too much about what other people thought about me, about who I was, about who I was hanging out with, about what I was wearing, about what I was doing with my life. And that's not just for about the people that were around me, you know, in college or my friends or anything. It also has to do with like my family, my parents, my siblings, my church. Like, what did they think about me? Am I doing something that everybody would approve of? In my 20s, I wasn't necessarily figuring out how to be me because I was too busy figuring out how to be the version of me that everyone else wants me to be, you know? And I very much was trying to figure out who I was as a person, who I was as a woman, what I stood for, all of those things. And y'all see, we just put this matte shade on the lid, brought it in a little bit, a little up, and then I gotta teach a little bit, you know, it's in me. And I'm taking the brush that I use for the darker shade to kind of like blend out the sides to make sure that it's nice and blended. This is gonna come together a little bit more once we put the liner on here in a moment. But I'm also going in with a fluffier brush around the edges with this shade Garvey here, just a little bit, just to kind of blend it out into the skin. So yeah, on the opposite side, y'all, in my 30s, however, I feel like I have learned who I am. It's taken a nice amount of time, but I feel like I have finally figured out who I am, what I want, what I stand for, what my values are. And the number one thing that has to do with that is I really don't care what other people think about my, you know, relationships, my choices, my life direction, things like that. Like, I now feel like I'm able to really feel comfortable and confident in the decisions that I'm making. For liner, y'all, we're about to use this Creamy Coal Huda Beauty liner. This one is in black. I'm gonna just go like 40% across the lid, maybe right here, and then bring it up a little bit. That I do have it in brown too, but I felt like the black was really gonna give me what it is that I wanted it to give, you know? And then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna smudge it out a little bit. So I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer to kind of line the sides up so that it kind of like goes upwards. I have these two different pairs. This one is from Kiss, the Lash Couture, the Muses collection. And then I also have Mykonos from Lily Lashes. I'm gonna decide here in a moment which one we wanna do. So after self-identity, y'all, with the fact that I feel like I know myself a whole lot more now in my 30s, which makes my life so much more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot more free. I would say I'm also very much more unapologetic here in my 30s as well, which kind of relates to self-identity. These are the Muses ones, y'all. I think this is the ones we're gonna go for. Because those are cute, they're not too much. I think those are really pretty. All right, so we ended up going with the lashes from Kiss. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer today, which is very similar to the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which is why I chose to use it. And it's my first time using this one, so. And y'all, today we are trying out a new foundation. So if y'all know, if y'all watch my vlogs, y'all know I tried to film this video. Well, I did film this video another time and it didn't work out. So I would say this is my first time trying it, but I did try it in that video. But we can still swatch them. Now, this is the, let me see, Tricone Skin Tech Foundation, which is from House Labs. Y'all know this is Lady Gaga's line of makeup. So they sent me for $60, for $70, and for $80. So I'm gonna just swatch them real quick for you guys. This one is for $60, which we all can see that that's a little too light. This one is for $70, and then this one is for $80. Essentially, let me zoom in. Essentially, I feel like these are all the same color, but different undertones. And I'm thinking 480 is probably the one for me. When I filmed this video the first time, I actually used 470, but I felt like it was a little too golden for my skin tone. Even though I do have somewhat of a golden undertone, I feel like it's a little bit more neutral. So I feel like that 480 is gonna work really well. And I really like this foundation when I used it too. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and replace our primer in that area and then go ahead with that foundation. Like I was saying, y'all, about being unapologetic. At this point in my life, with me knowing who I am and being cool with my choices, I ain't got no problem telling somebody about themselves. Like, I'm very, very strong in my opinions, who I am, all of those things. So when it comes to having conversations with other people about my opinion or my viewpoints, I'm not easily swayed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also very much, you know, like, oh yeah, well, that's what I think. And I'm not trying to, you know, make you feel the way I feel, but this is how I feel, and that's just that. And now there's a difference between being unapologetically you and having your viewpoints. The difference between doing that and then completely being closed-minded. We should never be closed-minded, like, because we're always still learning, you know. As much as we feel like you know now at this age, there's still so much more to learn. But what I mean is, like, I just know who I am, and I don't have any issues letting people know, like, this is what it is. In my 20s, I was definitely not like that. I definitely had times where I was learning a lot during my 20s. Like, let's say when it comes to friends, like doing you wrong or mistreating you or just treating you bad. Like in my 20s, early 20s, it was difficult for me, but I learned very quickly that sometimes you got to remove people from your life. At this point in my life, y'all, I have intentionally gotten rid of 2 friends. And I mean like a whole, like, letting them know I don't want to be your friend anymore for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And as my 20s went on, I got much better at that, speaking up for myself, you know, saying when things are bothering me. But I feel like now in my 30s, it just is what it is. Like, I'm gonna let you know about yourself, and I don't feel pressured or care what you think about it. Like, I just don't care. I'm gonna have to give you guys a story time on those friend situations, of course, without sharing names, but people will try you, okay? Especially if you are coming up on your 20s or you're in your mid 20s or whatever the case may be. It's so important to stand up for yourself, but first you gotta kind of know who you are to know what you're standing up for, if that makes sense. I am loving this foundation. I think it's super duper pretty. It's very luminous and I'm cool with that. Like, matte has its moments, but I really like this foundation. And when I used it last week for the video that got scrapped, it wore really well. It didn't get too oily. I really liked it. So let's see how it pans out today. If you watch my vlogs, then you'll see how it pans out. I was gonna use my Glowish Light Bright Sheer Concealer from Huda Beauty. However, these shades are a little bit too dark for my liking. So this one right here is 12 Rich, and this one right here is 11 Deep. These are clearly concealers that will work out for my complexion. However, y'all know I like to brighten it on the under eye area. So we're gonna save that for our no makeup days. Right now, we gonna brighten it up a little bit. I'm gonna use my Quickie Concealer from Urban Decay. This is relatively new. If you do follow me on Instagram, then you know that I actually worked with them in the launch for this. So while I'm letting this get a little tacky, the next thing that I realized is better now in my 30s than it was in my 20s is my personal style. I feel like my personal style, or you could say like personal aesthetic, like I really figured that out towards my late 20s, early 30s, and baby, we have arrived, okay? It definitely took a quick little minute though, and I feel like in my 20s, I had the push to like create my personal style, how I presented myself, how I present my home, my personal aesthetic, all those things. But I was trying to figure it out, so it changed a whole lot. And like I said, in my 20s, I was very impressionable. So I was copying other people. It's one thing to be inspired, it's another thing to copy. Something inspires you, it's like you take a little bit of this here and there from different people to create your own thing. I was just flat out copying stuff, and it was not me. It took me a while to figure out how I wanted to present myself to the world, physically, as far as my home is concerned, how I am most comfortable living, just all those things that kind of started to come to me towards like my late 20s. I feel like we have this mindset that in our early 20s, we gotta have this stuff figured out, especially now with social media. Everything's all aesthetically pleasing, and everyone obviously is trying to be a content creator because it's a very great way to make money. Who wouldn't want to? But it's like we are overwhelmed with how everyone's homes look and their personal aesthetic and how they're living their lives and just all these things. And it is very, you can feel like you're drowning in it, trying to figure out what yours is gonna be, or if you have to have a personal aesthetic, you know? So that's difficult. But for me in my 20s, I realized that I needed to stop being so like I wanted to be like someone else. I had to realize, like, let your personal style evolve, because everything is a journey. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a journey. So this is not a situation where I'll be like, oh, well, in my 20s, I should have known what my personal style is. No, I needed my 20s and what I did go through to get to where I am now. And it's okay for the journey not to take, you know, as short as we would want it to take. That does not mean that we're behind, you know, and this can go with anything, even though I'm just talking about a personal aesthetic. When it comes to anything at all, that can apply. So y'all, I do not have a like cream bronzer situation, like something new. So I'm gonna go in with my LYS No Limit Strength cream bronzer and just kind of frame my face a little bit, because apparently we are going all the way full coverage today. Since it's been a while since we've done a makeup video, I wanted to really go in with it today. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out real quick. And then we're gonna go into a cream blush, y'all. NARS sent us some cream blushes. This is their, let me see, I literally just got this one this week. This is their Afterglow Liquid Blush. So there's like a whole bunch of different shades. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch them for you on my arm real quick so you guys can just see. So this first one is Insatiable. This next one is Behave. And of course, these are liquid blushes, so it's not like, it has to be super like pigmented. It's meant to be blended out. This next one is Dulce Vita. Then we have Brazen Wanderlust, which is a purpley shade, pinky shade. And lastly, Orgasm. So these are all the shades of that liquid blush, Afterglow Liquid Blush from NARS. I'm thinking we might do this one here, which is Dulce Vita. I think I want to see what that looks like on my skin. Hopefully it's not too light, y'all, and then we end up having to, you know, figure something else out and do some damage control. But I'm gonna just move it around with a brush. I like that it's kind of got an orange tint to it a little bit. I think I was a little bit too, what's the word? ambitious. It's a little too light, so I'm gonna go in with Insatiable, just a little bit, and we're gonna see if that blends out better and we can really see the color. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better. I'm just blending it in and bringing it upwards so we can get some color in the face. I'm taking my baby to the city today, just to like get some food, go to the mall and stuff like that, since she's on summer vacation. Trying to get her out the house so we can just be out in the mall with a beat face, you know, ain't no biggie. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm gonna keep it like that though, because I could build this up, but I'm gonna go in with a powder blush today too, because you know, we're just trying new stuff. So we're gonna leave it like that. Maybe in the future we'll, you know, make it a little bit more pigmented. We got a different blush too from House Labs. This is their Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder. I got it in both Deep Honey and in Golden. On the last time that I filmed this, I did mix those two together. You guys know I love mixing like a skin tone powder with like a more neutral powder. So we're gonna do the same thing today. I'm gonna go ahead and matte us out a little bit. So the next thing, y'all, I would say that makes my 30s so much freaking better than my 20s is the fact that my self-esteem and my body image has drastically changed. Now, here's the thing, especially if you watch me, you do know that your girl is trying to lose some weight, and I'm working on getting to a place where I'm comfortable with the size of my body. However, at this stage in my life, I am so much more proud of the body that I have. I think it's beautiful regardless of what size. Now, yes, for me, health is a thing. Like, I want to be healthy. Like, I'm getting older, not, you know, I'm only 33. But nonetheless, I'm getting older and I want to take care of my health, and sometimes that coincides with how your body looks. However, in my 30s, I appreciate my body so much more than I did in my 20s. And I'm taking the darker shade, y'all, and I'm just gonna move it all around the face. So in my 20s, y'all, I hated my body. If I was not in the size where I wanted to be, it was like I hated it. Like, I avoided mirrors. I developed an eating disorder. It was just very, very hard for me. And it was always important for me in my later 20s to try to figure out how to tackle these body issues that I had with myself. Also, y'all, we don't have another bronzer, so I'm going in with my Mented bronzer, because y'all know this is my favorite, and I don't care. But yeah, it definitely was a thing for me. It created a lot of uncomfortable situations. I was uncomfortable with myself. It wasn't just me going out and seeing people. It was like at home, like I didn't want to see myself, like, and it was really, really tough. But as time went on, as I did some self-work and worked on myself, I started to love my body regardless, even though I still wanted to make changes. The aspect of the hatred that I had for my body started to disappear because I started to pour into myself, prioritize myself, and love myself even more. And that helped me to love my body even more. I also started doing things that were very intentional when it comes to my insecurities. I stopped hiding them on purpose and made sure that I was embracing them even when I didn't feel like it was beautiful. And it helped me to get used to myself and to my body. I stopped comparing myself. I stopped following certain people that made me feel bad about myself and about my body. That could be a whole nother video all on its own as far as what I did intentionally to get to the level of confidence that I have in my body image. However, now in my 30s, y'all, it's like I'm a grown woman, okay? I have grown woman curves, which was self-imposed, but that's another story. But I have grown woman curves, grown woman, you know, body size. And yes, I'm trying to get healthy, but I'm not so caught up anymore on being a certain size, a certain number. I essentially just want to be comfortable and confident in my body. And I would definitely say that now in my 30s, I am still working on that, but I have come to a point in my life where I'm loving on me, and that is very, 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 very important. So y'all see this powder? Y'all see how I was giving white? Don't like that. This is the deeper shade, the Deep Honey color, and I'm actually gonna block that because that is going to show outside and look very much ashy. Usually I will take a deeper shade. Usually I'm using my translucent medium deep from Laura Mercier. that was not giving. That was not giving at all. So I'm trying to think, what can I do? Because I feel like you're gonna be able to see that lighter shade. I'm gonna go into my cinnamon bun from Huda Beauty and see if that will change anything. Because this one is a more warmer brown. Oh child, we gonna see. This is what happens when you playing with new stuff and then try to go outside with it on. It just might not work out the way that you want it to work out. But it's fine, it's fine. We're gonna rock with it right now. I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face actually, so that maybe it starts to suck up some of that ash, okay? It's fine, we're gonna move on. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and try this other blush. This is from House Labs as well, Color Fuse Blush. This shade is called Akai Sky, and it is giving very pretty and beautiful. So I'm excited to try this one. That's very, very pretty. It is a more pinky tone, so if you're not crazy about pink tone blush, this ain't the one for you, but they do have some other ones. But this one was the deepest one that they sent me, so I'm like, that's pretty. Let's move on with that. I'm gonna keep talking while I do my under eyes real quick, y'all. The very last thing that I would say, since we're only keeping this at 5 today, that makes my 30s so much better than my 20s is my relationship with God. I underestimated, as a woman in my 20s, how much God should be involved in my life, in my everyday decisions. I feel like in my 20s, my personal experience with the Lord was very much lenient on what other people around me were going through in their relationships. It's like, God can do this for you. He did this for me. God is this, God is that, because he did this for me. And it's like my reliance or what I knew was based on what God did for others. So it was like, for me, almost a limited level of faith I feel like I had. I was very, you know, teeter-tottery. I believed in the Lord always. However, as far as trying to live for him and allowing him to really come in and do his thing in my life, that was a little more non-existent back then for me, because I didn't really feel like I had that experience with the Lord myself. As I got older though, I'm just gonna use my Hoola Glow from Benefit, y'all. I don't have another highlighter available, so we're just gonna use this. But yeah, y'all, as I got older, I started having the experiences. You know, the Lord was there for me, like in my face, like in my daily life, helping a sister out. And I started to have those experiences of God helping me and being in the forefront in my life. You know, I started to depend on him more. I started to have my own stories of how he brought me through, of how he encouraged me, of how he helped me. And for me, that made a huge difference in the way I started to pursue him in my late 20s. If you don't know, I got saved at the age of 29 and I'm 33 now. And it's still very much a process. I would definitely still call myself a baby Christian, because I'm constantly still learning and growing and trying to get stronger in my faith. And you know, I'm not perfect, as nobody is, baby Christian or not, you know what I'm saying? But now in my 30s, I know, which I wish I would have realized this in my early 20s, how much God's presence in my life makes such a big difference in every aspect of my life. So that makes my 30s so much better and so much easier when you have that faith and you know that God has your back and will come through. And then you also, you know, of course we're supposed to exercise blind faith. However, it hit different when you know that God has come through for you, you know, in certain areas of your life already, because then you can depend on what you know he's already done, you know. And that makes life so much smoother, baby, let me tell you. Okay, y'all, so the look is coming together. I still feel a little ashy, but it's fine. We can just, you know, cover it a little bit. So that's the only thing I would say I don't like so far, is I feel like that powder is kind of washing me out a little bit. I wish it was a little bit of a deeper shade. So this is a new products video, so I'm gonna need the judgment to stop because this is what happens when you're playing with new stuff and you have no idea how it's gonna turn out. So, but it could have been something that I did, because last time it didn't give ash. the way it's giving ash today. So I don't know, child. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips, y'all. This liner is not available anymore. I constantly get asked, what liner am I using? But this liner was from e.l.f. and it was their collaboration with Tiana Major 9. So y'all know I got to do my ombre. This is the Air Matte lip color from NARS in All Yours. It's giving a little bit too cool tone for me. Oh, I feel like I look so ashy. I hope I don't, y'all. I can't wait to see it on the video. May and may not be giving, but I'm feeling ashy though. Anyway, I'm gonna go in with this number 7 age defying lipstick in Caramel Silk. It might be a little bit more warmer. I feel like that's not giving the way I also don't need it to give. So we're just gonna do what we know. This is my butter gloss and this is from NYX and this is in Madeline. That's what I was looking for. Much better. So, all right, y'all. So I feel like this is, it's okay. It's not. Another reason why I had to refilm this video is because I did not like the makeup look and I felt like it wasn't giving what I wanted to give. And this one is kind of doing the exact same thing, but we're gonna still rock with it. So yeah, y'all, I'm about to go ahead and hop off the camera and put on a little top and make myself look like something a little bit more. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so I went ahead and changed my top. Well, I had on my robe, so now I got my top on and pull the braids to the side. I love it when I pull my braids over. It just gives. I feel like it's almost time for me to take these braids down, but I'm like, I need braids for the summer. Like, I need braids for the summer. Especially since I'm working out a lot right now. But anyways, this is the finished look. I hope you guys really like it. Let's zoom in a little bit so y'all can see the vibes. She's cute, still giving a little ashy to me, but I think I think it's okay. I think we're fine. We'll see once I actually go look in an actual mirror and not these like brighter lights. Either way, I do feel like it gives, you know, soft, feminine, classy, which is usually what I'm going for, but a little bit more glam since we have that matte eye kind of shaded with the smoky in the corner, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's cute. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments what other kind of videos you guys want to see, what kind of topics you want to talk about, girl talk, get ready with me type of topics, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.
You